Hi there, it's Donna from Taffy Crafting, and it's July, and I've just made my first Christmas card. Totally unheard of for me. I am a last minute Christmas preparer, but because I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator, I get to play with all the new products that come out really, really early. So we have our new autumn winter catalogue coming out. I know we've just had a catalogue, but this comes out at the beginning of August. Let's just bring my camera up a bit. And it's got all things Christmassy. I can't show you the inside of it yet, not until it goes live, but I can show you what I've bought from it. So I didn't get much, but I did get a few things. So a previous video of mine, you would have seen how I use the Magic in the Night. Magic is the night. Magic is, anyway, the Halloweeny style paper. Made something with that yesterday. You can look back on my previous videos to see that. And today I'm going to be using the Arrange a Wreath stamp set, and I'm also going to be using the Wreath Builder die set. Let's just show you some of those things. And here are the dies. I've got them all out at the moment. So we've got bows, hearts, pears, partridges, leaves, little flower bits, more leaves, little love heart, flower bits, a bow, a wreath. So that's what we had in here. So that's that one. And then I've got this leafy one as well. And the two together, this is Granny Apple Green on red, real red. And I think that comes out really, really well. And I just cut out or die cut those two poinsettia flowers as well. Probably something's got to go on top of them. I'm not quite sure what, but I only put those there just to cover up a little bit of a mistake I made in cutting out the paper. So I'm going to use these again in the same colours just because I've got them out. I'll see if I can find a nice colour for the bow and also see what I'm going to do with the sentiments. I'm kind of thinking off on my feet here. So I'm going to start with a basic card base. So this is 11 3/4 by 4 1/8, scored down the long side at 5 7/8. You would have thought that I would know that off by heart, but I still have to think about it. So this is real basic card making. So, and when I say basic, I'm not being mean there. What I'm saying is that if you've never done this before and you've managed to get your hands on a die cutting machine and some dies, that's just really easily done. You can make a whole stack of Christmas cards like that. This one, I've decided to use the In Good Taste DSP because I love this wood effect on that, and I want to make this look like it's on a door or something like that. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to do any more layers on that other than that. You could choose a different shade of cardstock if you want. All I'm trying to do is just show you what you can do with them. So I'm going to trim this down to 4 inches by 5 3/4 with my trusty paper trimmer. Wouldn't be without this piece of kit. And I'm just going to stick that onto my card base. What a shame to be not using that side. I love that. I love that blue and white design, but it's not to be. I've used that for something else. And no glue is coming out of this because you've only got to just put this glue down for a minute. I should put the top on. And then by cutting that DSP just a little bit smaller, you just get a nice border all the way around. And I use a bone folder just to disperse that glue. Otherwise you get lumps. Don't want lumps on our Christmas cards. So there's the base. Now the next thing I'm going to do is die cut in real red and in Granny Apple Green. You could use Old Olive as well. I've only used Granny Apple Green because I had that set of card out. So I'm just going to die cut those now. So there's my green. And there's my red. And they just die cut absolutely beautifully, apart from that little bit that hasn't come out. Sometimes you do just get those little bits and they just need coaxing out like that. They're just so pretty, so intricate. I never really used to be into die cutting, but I've just embraced it now, just completely embraced it. I love it. And I think it's because I changed my craft space up and now my die cutting machine is right next to me. That makes a difference. So you could have it that way round, or you could have it that way round. To me, that doesn't work, but it doesn't matter. You can have it whatever way you like. So I'm going to put that in there like that. And then I think what I'm going to do is put my sentiment down here. I think that's what I'll do. So let me show you how I'm going to stick that down. So just with a little bit of glue where I didn't put the top on, and it's a bit sticky. One of these days I'll remember to put the glue top on top of the glue. And I'm just putting a tiny, tiny dot just along these little bits that are on the circle of the wreath. Now, when I put in my Christmas order, I didn't buy a lot of Christmas stuff. I wanted to buy the fine tip glue pen and it wasn't available. And now it is. And now I wish I had it, but I wasn't going to make an order just for the sake of a few pounds. I think that's enough on there. And then I've got my trusty tweezers. And this is what I'm going to use with those. You can use anything for this bit. So get that where you want it. So I kind of want it top, middle. And then I'm just going to just push down here. I don't want it to be, why isn't that stuck in? I don't want it to be completely flat. That should be okay. So there's the red. And then just again going around. Oh, that's a bit too much. Just putting a dot of wet glue all the way around. Should have turned my computer off before I film this. You don't want big blobs of glue because it just oozes out, and even though it dries clear, it looks, you just don't want it doing that. So push that down. Got a little bit oozing out there. That was my big blob. So just going to press it down just for a second or two for it to grab, and then that will set. So just a little bit of patience on that bit. And then when that's dried, what you want to do is just curl these up very, very carefully. That's why I like my big tweezers. I don't know where they came from. They're not Stampin' Up, but they're really handy. And you just want to just pull those up a little bit, just so that it gives you a bit more of a 3D look, but you have got to be careful with it. I tried to do this earlier and nearly ripped one of them. So just with a gentle touch on those. So there's your wreath, looking absolutely stunning. So the next thing I'm going to do, and I'm kind of just thinking off the top of my head now, I want to make a sentiment, and let me show you the sentiments that are on this. We've got a Merry Christmas, got best wishes. This doesn't have to be Christmas, although wreaths tend to be linked to Christmas. We've got Easter in there as well, giving thanks, Happy Heart Day, got our partridge here, some pear trees, Easter eggs, and then some leaves and hearts. I'm not quite sure what this is. In fact, I've no idea what that is. A box of some sort, maybe. Like a palette or something. Answers on a postcard, please. Right, so let's deal with... I'm going to use and yes, don't shout. I know I've got a block that's way too big for my stamp. I'm going to use the Merry Christmas. And I'm going to get... I've got some scrap real red. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I've seen what I'm going to do. Right, hang on. I can't remember the exact name of this, but it's like the postage stamp punch. And I'm going to punch that in green. Must have a scrap of green somewhere that's big enough. Yes, I do. Here it is. And I'm going to get some real red ink. And I'm just going to punch that onto my Granny Apple Green card. And then punch that. So line it up, and when you think it's lined up, just kind of grab it by pressing this together. And then I'm just changing that. And then I'll just look at that for too long, convince myself that it's straight and it's crooked. There we have that. And now I want a piece of real red cardstock. So that measures, it's 2 inches by 1 3/8. So I want a piece of cardstock that's 2 1/8 by 1 1/2. 2 1/8 by 1 1/2. Roughly. Let's see if this works. I'm just going to sit that in there like that. That's not bad. I'm happy with that. I'm going to stick that on there with mini dimensionals. Got myself covered in red ink. That's not unusual. My crafting days always end up covered in glue. Finding these everywhere, on the floor, all over the house, in my underwear. They just get everywhere. I found one in my hair the other day. And I'm just going to put that there like that. And I think I'm going to put, no, I'm going to glue that on. So is this inspiring you to make some Christmas cards? I tell you, it takes a lot to inspire me to make Christmas cards in July. And I'm making this today as a request that somebody had commented on one of my previous YouTube tutorials. I think when I was showing my Christmas haul or my autumn winter catalogue haul, and I said, tell me what you want to see. And somebody said, I want to see you make something out of the wreath. There you go. I've done it. I just think that's really lovely. I love it. I don't get excited about Christmas. Even at Christmas, I don't get excited about Christmas. But that's lovely. And that just now makes me want to go and make a whole load of these. You could just make as many as you like in one go. Do all your die cutting. Do all your card trimming. And, you know, you don't have to stick with that. You wouldn't have enough of that to do all of them. But you could use any. I've lost my original card. You know, you could go back and have something like that. You know, it's entirely up to you. So I hope that inspires you to start thinking about Christmas. And I'll be back again soon with another project. I'll see you then. Bye bye.